Radio Jingle Main News brought to you by Moose Mailing and Go TV Broadcasting Center Limited. Radio Jingle, restoring everything in Christ with love and truth. Good afternoon with the main news. I'm Kennedy Barry Jr. Remember, you can as well watch us live on the Radio Jingle Facebook page to you following us on the social media platform. The headlines: do not succumb to temptations. Residents of Newtown in Luansha happy with the construction of a police post. Pressure mount on Changa Rangers coach Israel Mwanza. The details. As the church marks the first week of Lent today, Christians have been implored not to succumb to temptations. Father Cornelius Walia, the parish priest of St. Matthew the Apostle in Nkana East, Kitwe, said Christians will always face temptations from Satan like Jesus did, but that they should not give in. Speaking in his homily during Mass today, Father Walia, however, said the faithful cannot easily fall into temptations if their faith is rooted in Jesus Christ. He has since reminded Catholics to live up to the three pillars of Lent, which are fasting, almsgiving, fervent prayer, especially during this season. The introduction of survival packs in all secondary schools under Mufulira's Kantanshi constituency has cheered pupils. The pupils said they feel motivated with the initiative and were optimistic that they would perform better during exams. The pupils said this during the launch of survival packs by area member of parliament Anton Mumba yesterday at Pomoz Girls Secondary School.
Of stigmatization, or maybe like for the survival kids, he has brought in as in parts. There are girls who abscond from school for days, maybe, of which it will reduce their performance in school, but with this survival pack, it's going to help them in many ways. Some don't have shoe polish, they don't have anything to help them in to look smart as a girl or to do anything, because they are afraid to go, and some are afraid to go to school that no, my uniform is not looking fine and everything. But for the MP has done it, this is really wonderful. It's going to help us as girls.
The MP has done a very commendable job, not only for the girls and also for the boy child. Most of the times as youths and pupils, we go through certain things whereby we compare each other to we compare ourselves to our friends. You'll see what your friend is wearing and you have low self-esteem upon noticing that what you are wearing is not compared to what your friend has. So the MP has really done a commendable job by donating shoe brushes, and let me just say the survival kit, it has really helped us, and it will really help the girl child, as in to prevent the girl child from absconding school due to the menstrual periods.
This is a well done. This is a great job which he has done. It will really help us a lot, and we are thankful for all this. Thank you so much. And this, we are seeing high pregnancies of girls, and this, it will really help us. Thank you so much.
And Dr. Mumba said the survival pack contains a shoe polish, a toothbrush, having shaving sticks, sanitary towels, washing and bathing soap, among other items for the girl and the boy child.
The washing bar for you to ensure that your shirt is clean, uniforms. The soap is properly used. Polish the shoe brush so that you have that confidence when you're going to school that you mean business when you get into school, and not to start looking at your neighbor and you feel sorry for yourself. So what we want is, we want to have children in grade 12, regardless of background, having the same opportunity. because of what we are presenting.
And Mufulira District Education Board Secretary Elizabeth Imonga thanked the lawmaker for the gesture. Ms. Monga also disclosed that the district was #1 on the Copper Belt in terms of performance during the recently released results for both grade 7 and 9.
Performed very well in the just ended 2020 national examinations at grade 7, honorable, we made #1. And at grade 9, we also get #1 in the Copper Belt, where these results that we have attained is because of the support that we have received, starting from our president who directed the schools open amid this COVID-19, when people were very scared and some parents never wanted to send their children back. However, they sent their children and we did all we could.
Still in education news, the teacher union on the Copper Belt has recommended that the Ministry of General Education relook at the progression to grade 8 of all grade 7 candidates who sat for examinations last year. During the announcement over the grade 7 and 9 2020 final examination results, General Education Minister Dennis Wanchinga said all grade 7 candidates who sat for examinations last year had progressed to grade 8. But Zambia National Union of Teachers feels the country's education system has not yet reached the level where every candidate can progress to grade 8, especially that the career pathway system has not been fully developed. Speaking to Radio Chingla News in an interview, Sanut Copper Belt Provincial Chairperson David Siamutua observed that some candidates who have been selected to grade 8 cannot even read or write properly.
Has to look in the progression to grade 8, not a situation where they say everyone has passed. At the union, we feel that we have not grown to the level where everyone progresses to grade 8. We haven't gone yet. Why do I say so? The system of career pathway has not been fully developed. You may be aware that the government introduced the career pathways, where at the end of the grade 9, a child should be given a TVET certificate so that he's able to go and defend for himself. So the government should look into this seriously.
To Luanshya now, residents of Newtown in Luanshya say the ongoing construction of a police post will help to combat crime once completed. The Newtown Police Post, the project is being funded by Luanshya Council at a cost of 494,000 kwacha. Some residents interviewed by Radio Chingla News in Newtown said fighting crime has been challenging owing to the lack of a police post in the locality.
So bakabola na mwamsanga kwa mamwika kumbe mutoka ero nabashita binosa sana nabagomba na jawahana awe na chiwana kustole kama bwasya ya bukabola msaso yakulabika
kishwale kula police post kono nishi wale to uyantanshu sana nichaga wati nangu impo shesh kristo wala sana manda nisha kristo wala bose ufunga ni swashi wati ute golwa naturally keshapo asha ya kristo wako self side than story.
Different opinions are being issued by MMD members on the holding over the party convention. MMD Copper Belt Information and Publicity Secretary in the Nakachinda faction, Timothy Mailoshi, says the convention being called by party president Nevas Mumba should be guided by the party's constitution. Mr. Mailoshi said the lower organs of the party should be subjected to elections before holding a convention. He added that there was need to emulate other political parties that have held elections starting from the lower ranks. Mr. Mailoshi spoke to Radio Chingla News yesterday.
To follow the party constitution in calling for the convention. We cannot have a convention without the lower organs being subjected to election. This is a constitutional requirement, and we cannot go by Dr. Mumba's desperation to cling to the MD presidency to disregard our constitution. If you want a convention, Dr. Mumba should subject all party structures at all levels to elections.
But MMD spokesperson Kefas Mukuka has maintained that the party would go ahead with the convention on 20th March 2021. Dr. Mukuka said this was in line with the party constitution and in readiness for the forthcoming general elections in August. He said MMD is the mother of democracy not only in Zambia but the entire African continent, saying eligible aspirants are those who are in good standing with the party. Dr. Mukuka added that voting would be done virtually due to the coronavirus pandemic. This is according to a media statement. Now move on to sports. Pressure has slowly started mounting on Nchanga Rangers coach Israel Mwanza, who in his third game in charge has allowed 9 goals as the team's primary hope of playing Super League football next season continues to dwindle. This is after Nchanga Rangers recorded another embarrassing 4-1 loss to Konkola Blades in a Week 18 First Eden University National Division 1 match played at Konkola Stadium in Chilabombo yesterday. Prior to yesterday's match, Nchanga were coming from a 4-0 bashing suffered at the hands of FC Muza in a Week 17 match played in Kafioe. And speaking to Radio Chingla Sports after the game, coach Israel Mwanza says his team did not play according to instructions and that he will consider looking for additional players in the next transfer window.
According to the instructions which I've given them at the pitch, and if we see the boys, they're not playing for themselves, like they're not playing for the club, because Channel is a big club. There's a lot of players there inside the field who can't perform as we expected to perform. That's the only problem we have. So we need to work extra hard with the boys which have at the moment. And that week, we have to go back to the development to make sure that we start winning, we start finding with the winning formula. Yes, always the game is about always pressure. Yes, I'm under pressure to start winning, to be most consistent. Yeah, definitely, especially for this season. You have to come back, you have to play especially next season. You have to make sure.
And scoring early and destabilize Nchanga Rangers was the game plan for Konkola Blades, according to assistant coach Lewington Mujembe.
Come from the loss, we knew that obviously they will come defensively, so we knew that's the defensively, so we have just to go on them, we have a goal so that we stabilize them. In fact, we planned for about 7 goals. You just from the road we started, even though we have scored those goals, we had about 3 to 4 clear chances, which we failed to utilize. But wanted to have 4 or 5 first half, then we see 3 goals in the second half.
That's Konkola Blades assistant coach Lewington Mujembe. This news broadcast comes to you in the community service of Radio Chingla with compliments of Moose Milling and Go TV Broadcasting Zambia Limited. And now international news as monitored from the BBC.
Thousands of people have again taken to the streets in Myanmar cities to protest against this month's coup, despite the deaths of 2 demonstrators after the security forces opened fire in Mandalay on Saturday. Here's Celia Hassan.
In bright red paint, protesters in Mandalay have written, "We don't accept military coup." The letters so large they stretch across a major street. On social media, some say the protests in Myanmar's second city are larger than on Saturday, when 2 demonstrators were killed, to show the authorities the crowds won't be intimidated by violence. Across Myanmar, thousands have been marching peacefully to demand a return to democracy.
Facebook has deleted the main page of the Myanmar military. The company said it had removed the page in accordance with its policy on prohibiting the incitement of violence. The Burmese armed forces have used Facebook to advance claims in support of their overthrow of the civilian government earlier this month. Israelis who have had the coronavirus vaccination are able, for the first time in almost 2 months, to go to gyms and shopping malls as some major lockdown restrictions are being lifted. But entry to these venues is being restricted to people who've been vaccinated or have had the virus. Dr. Maya Peled-Raz is the head of Community Health and Ethics Research at the University of Haifa.
The basic situation right now is that everything is closed, okay? So what we are trying to do is actually open up the economy. So we are allowing to those who are vaccinated to rejoin the economy. So if you want to join those people, you need to get vaccinated.
The Indian pharmaceutical company licensed to produce the AstraZeneca Oxford University coronavirus vaccine has asked for patients from foreign governments awaiting their supply of the shots. The chief executive of the Serum Institute of India, Adar Poonawalla, said he'd been directed to prioritise the needs of India. Ambarasam Ithirajan reports.
The AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine, branded Covishield by the Serum Institute of India, is critical to the global supply chain to tackle the coronavirus. Many developing countries like Bangladesh and Brazil are dependent on the doses from India. But 50% of production has been set aside for domestic use, and the Indian government oversees the export to other countries. Currently, the company is producing between 50 and 60 million doses a month. India wants to inoculate 300 million people in the first phase and has given only 11 million shots since mid-January. Covishield is one of the 2 vaccines being used by the Indian authorities.
And that marks the end of the main news. Today, Sunday, day number 21 in the month of February. For these and more stories, feel free to visit the Radio Chingalo Facebook page and like the Radio Chingalo page and link to Radio Chingalo.radio12345.com. Of course, you can still listen to us. You can watch Radio Chingalo main news as well on the Radio Chingalo YouTube channel. So remember, COVID-19 is still real. Therefore, let's observe the COVID-19 preventive guidelines, such as wearing a mask when in public, avoiding large groups and maintaining social distance, avoiding unnecessary movements, and washing hands frequently for at least 20 seconds. On behalf of everyone, and especially you who are listening, and of course you who are watching on the Radio Chingalo Facebook page, the likes of Eston Chileshe from Ipafu Chingola Lizzie of Riverside and Matilda Puri, thank you so very much. We have the next news broadcast that will be Ilya Chumchubemba coming your way at 10 hours. Thank you so very much. My name is Kennedy Mbeo Jr. On behalf of the entire news team, we say have yourself a lovely Sunday afternoon.